Hello, and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 2 of Dragon Half. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Now, last we left off, Mink was on a bit of a quest to find a potion that would turn her fully human, and, the evil king she had run afoul of, he's sending all sorts of assassins after her, the latest of which being the love interest she's going through this whole ordeal for. So nothing's going with that just yet, but, it's only a matter of time. Now, I was already sort of, maybe not taken aback, but sort of surprised at the overall tone of this. But, with a title like, the very deadly no-good martial arts tournament, it seems like we're about to take another left turn into unexpected territory. But, forget all that. This poor guy with the unfortunate name has caught up to Mink, and, he has no doubt believed the evil king's lies that she's a dragon disguised as a human and therefore an appropriate target for murder. I feel like there should be some level of thinking about the situation here on his part. And I guess, to his credit, he's not immediately trying to kill her, but, I don't know. Something tells me that, a big evil dragon wouldn't necessarily be so subtle. If only because, what does a dragon really have to worry about? If you're gonna kill a big dragon, generally speaking, you have to be a legendary hero wielding a magic sword or something like that. Maybe I'm applying more, serious fantasy logic to this, which is, definitely on the sillier end of the spectrum. I don't know, maybe it's just sort of the usual anime thing where misunderstandings compound. Although in this case it's not necessarily a misunderstanding, but actual lies and deceit. Well, take that back, this is a misunderstanding. Saucer here is operating on incomplete information, as is Mink. And the two bits of information don't lead to a good conclusion. Yeah, this guy's actually, pretty cold-blooded to do what he's doing, because I feel like, in his position, that disguise, if in fact it truly is a disguise, would be kind of disarming, he hasn't seen the disguise drop, so to speak, so, it's not like he actually knows it's a big monstrous red dragon. I guess it's kind of unfortunate for any potential relationship that he's not holding back. I feel like, this isn't necessarily something you could just sort of laugh off. I guess fortunately, he's more interested in being a pop star than he is in slaying a dragon to everybody's benefit. But, yeah, there are some serious implications here. I'm wondering if the potion would even rectify things. Because, he already sort of realizes if incorrectly, that she is a dragon, you know. I feel like there's no fixing that without inadvertently getting the evil king to admit he's a liar, but I don't think that's likely. Okay, so the martial arts tournament is another silly scheme. I guess it makes sense in a way, you know. They're sort of playing this up like it's the Dark Tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho, where, you know, killing is fine. You know, they don't really care about that, so, you know, if you can convince her to join this tournament, then chances are good she'll get herself killed, and, you know, it works out for everybody. Now, unfortunately, or at least I assume unfortunately, Vina's going to get involved, and as the king's daughter, you know, it's probably not a good idea to get involved too much. Now that's interesting that they have aircraft, and they refer to them as planes. You know, I feel like Mink might be better off just sort of flying on her own, given that she has wings. Okay, so here's where everything comes together. This is very clearly a devious person in disguise. Although it's interesting that somebody like an airport terminal would direct you to essentially participate in blood sports. You know, maybe Mink isn't going about entering the tournament in the best way, but I guess in her situation, what else could you do? You know, that's kind of convenient. You know, 7 people have passed the screening test, and therefore Mink makes 8, you know, giving them a nice even bracket. Oh dear. That is a devious plan indeed. You know, poison would be one thing, but laxatives, that's probably gonna backfire. Okay, so Saucer's here. I can only assume that he intends to participate. And I guess we can also assume that this takes place after the concert and is more important than fulfilling his quest. Man, I hate to give credit to an elf, but she really saw right through that ploy. She knows. I guess perhaps because elves are naturally deceitful. Although unfortunately, Mink's better nature has destroyed the plan. Now, you know, I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work out, because, you know, Saucer could drink that and then be incapacitated, or he could just not drink it at all, because why trust an evil red dragon? Man, that is some vile magic. Just sort of applying clothespins to people. Alright. So that's kind of interesting that the king is sort of sponsoring this whole thing. And that the rules are either to the death or until you apply a stamp to their forehead. Yeah. It's interesting that this is explicitly to the death and that presumably there is no means for surrendering. You know, weapons are allowed and all that. I feel like this is a good way to get a bunch of people killed. Oh dear. Yeah, it turns out he drank the laxatives after all. Naturally, everybody assumes this is just part of everything, you know. This isn't unusual. Man. It's really unfortunate for Ming that she doesn't know about all the trouble she's caused. You know, maybe if you have a really good and loving relationship, you can play off the whole, yeah, we tried to kill each other, but I don't know about making light of that and laxatives during blood sports and all that. Oh dear. Yeah, that's unfortunate for the king, because I think it was kind of assumed that Saucer, he was sort of like their ace in the hole to kill Mink, but if he's out, they're just going to have to rely on the tournament to take its course and hopefully work out in their favor. Okay, so it's that guy again. You know, I thought the general assumption was that he sort of died having been stabbed through the head, but I guess that was less fatal to someone of his intellectual caliber than would normally be possible. I mean, if they beat him once, how hard can he really be to beat again? Yeah, I mean, there we go. He's bragging about it. His brain is very compact. Man. I have to admire his gumption bragging about his small brain, I guess. But you know, he's saying like he still got nicked. Like, that's not inconsequential. Brain damage is bad. You don't want to damage your brain. So it occurs to me that maybe Mink, having entered this tournament on a whim, she is sort of unprepared, seeing as how weapons were allowed, and I don't think she really uses one. And also, you know, that is some nifty armor, but it seems like they're sort of playing up a more mechanical aspect to it. Wow. What a menace, shooting down a plane like that. Now, naturally, I can only assume that if he's more mechanical than man, then there's got to be some sort of weakness to him. Or, you know, maybe not. Maybe the weakness is his small, compact brain not truly grasping the situation. I mean, if all you need to do is put the seal on somebody's forehead or kill them, you could either just apply the seal or kick her off the platform into the boiling lava, you know? I feel like he's putting in too much work for a lesser result. I mean, that might speak to his character somewhat, you know, kind of stupid and vindictive and evil, but, I don't know, just because you're vindictive and evil doesn't mean you should necessarily be inefficient. Yeah, imagine that, he actually ran out of gas. You know what, I'm glad Roshi has returned, albeit in mechanized form. The poor guy, I don't think he deserved to be eaten like he was. Oh dear. That's a truly dangerous weapon right there. Oh no! Oh, I am incongruously reminded of a video in which a baseball player throws a pitch just as like a pigeon or something swoops down and it gets hit by like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That bird didn't deserve that, and Roshi didn't deserve this, but somehow Mink has won. And it would seem as though things are shaping up to have her fight Vina next, and I don't know, presumably some hitherto unseen person in the final round. Oh no, I take that back. Mink is actually going to fight whoever wins this match. I can only assume it would be Vina, that would be, I guess, maybe not symbolic, but, thematic, I suppose. This would continue their rivalry for Saucer's affections, and whether or not that'll actually get resolved in any way, shape, or form. Man, maybe I'm just wrong. Yeah, whoever this little critter is, he sure is, something alright. There we go. I mean, I guess it doesn't take much to outthink a little kid. But at the same time, she's just sort of, talking instead of actually finishing the match. I mean, I guess it does sort of play into her nature, too, being a wicked sorceress, Yeah, I guess, her hubris was her downfall. So I'm wondering how Mink's going to pull this one out, because surely she's not going to resort to the same tactics, if only because she doesn't have the capability. And she doesn't strike me as particularly intelligent so as to think of something like that. I don't know, maybe these two can come to some sort of an understanding. I mean, it seems to be that, there's a clash of hierarchy. So I feel like this has to be some sort of a misunderstanding or something, or perhaps the evil king has, intervened. That's actually, it's actually pretty funny, his backstory was left on the cutting room floor during editing. Oh dear. I mean, that's gotta be embarrassing if you're like an actor or something, you find out that your one scene was cut. Can only imagine how this little critter feels. Unfortunately, he seems to have discounted the fact that Mink is the main character. Although, I suppose it's interesting that this horrible, evil, brutal martial arts tournament is, racking up a greater death toll in its, attendees than in its participants. And, you know, it's interesting how he can just sort of pull a sword out of his head, too. I'm wondering what precisely the mechanic is behind that and why, you know, that would be a good place to store it. Because very clearly, you know, it's not going through the head or anything. I don't know. That just strikes me as a rather impractical method of storage. Oh dear. Well, you know, I'm not sure what she's gonna do about that. You know, you can't fight with the handicap of having to cover yourself. Well, I guess if nothing else, she's determined to try. You know, to some degree, I'm wondering why exactly she was able to do that. You know, I feel like that's a little bit excessive for just one punch. Man, this really does make the evil king and everybody look kinda stupid for encouraging her to join only for her to win. Yeah, well, I guess that's it. No real resolution or anything. That's kind of too bad. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.